Welcome to This is Pikeville. Jimmy Taylor, Director of Tourism for the City of Pikeville. This is the time he gets to sit down and talk about all of the wonderful opportunities that are going to be over the next few weeks and year in the City of Pikeville, and he has guests with him today. So Jimmy Taylor, it's been a long time for him.
It's been a long time, too long, Jill.
It has been. I was thinking today, the last time that we actually got to sit down and talk about tourism-related events in the City of Pikeville was last year, 2020.
Yeah, long time
you
ago.
know, it was like last fall, I think. So now we're back into the swing of things. Josh Kessler joins us from the Appalachian Wireless Arena today. He has been a busy guy. He, Larry, and Paul and the whole gang have been busy booking shows and hosting events, getting tournaments in town. So we are going to talk to the both of you about wonderful opportunities in the City of Pikeville. And then Robin Irwin is going to join us from the Appalachian Center for the Arts to talk about some wonderful things going on there. So we are jam-packed for the next 30 minutes with all kinds of information.
We're jam-packed the whole year with all kinds of things to do, too.
We certainly are. Let's talk first about how we've kind of rebounded and pivoted some since the pandemic. Last year, this time, just really this week, everything shut down. Our kids stopped going to school. Things started being canceled. We were all working remotely from home and kind of isolating. It was a crazy time. Hard to believe it's been a year since then. One of the things that had to happen during that time was the shuttering not only of the app and the arena, but also of our events centers and community centers and things that we were doing. But now those thankfully are reopening.
Yeah, our community centers, we had to shut those down because it was just so hard to keep everybody socially distant. When you've got a big crowd in our community centers, it's just, we've got to make sure that it's safe for you as well as anybody else that goes in there after you. But now we found a way to be able to do it. Our community centers are open. We make sure that they get a deep cleaning after each person uses it, and we're really proud of that. We've got a really good staff. They come in every single day, and I think you're going to be well pleased when you're in our community centers. So they're back open. Our city park is back open for bookings as well. I've already had 3 calls for weddings in the park, so it's going to be a big year. So you know how brides can be, right? So it's going to be great.
I've heard that can be tough.
They can be tough.
But now that is one of the great things, though, is that we do have so many different venue spaces and event spaces within the city that were often utilized before. And then when you don't have a place even, to go have a small family gathering, whether it's your immediate family or beyond, it really becomes difficult. So we're excited to open those spaces back up. And I know that that's going to be a busy, busy time for you.
Absolutely.
Going forward. We are focusing now as part of our comprehensive plan that City Manager Philip Ellsworth and I have discussed at great length on his program, and how we are really turning toward a focus on economic development-based tourism. Obviously very important to me in my job and what I do, but our tourism opportunities that we have within the city and within the region are very important to our growth and the way that we rebound and recover from COVID. So we're taking a lot of different steps and efforts, trying out some new things as far as promoting and advertising the City of Pikeville and our events and things that we have here.
Yes, ma'am. Speaking of that, it's our regional, I think you're talking about our regional commercial that we're getting ready to do. It's almost completed. During the pandemic, it's a crazy thing, but families, they get so tired of being cooped up in the house that they figure out ways to be able to do things safely. And that brings us to our RV park. Our RV park hasn't slowed down. It just keeps going and going and going. And we've got a new website for that, pikevilleRVpark.com. But we also noticed that those people, they come from everywhere. So we want to try to market to those people from, let's say, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Tennessee. They're all wanting to come, so we want to make sure that we have a place for them to come and they love it while they're here.
Certainly. So you mentioned the new RV park website will make it easier and very straightforward
so much easier,
to book space there. But also visitpikeville.com has gotten a facelift.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is absolutely beautiful, very easy to see the different offerings that we have in the city and surrounding area, hotels, restaurants, activities, those sorts of things. And I think will be really heavily used.
I do too.
One of the things that we did as far as events, when we kind of pivoted a bit to find things for people to do safely, was our Reels in the Hills series of movies. And at first it was just going to be one. and then it was 2, and then 3, and now it's grown. And I think there's only been 1 month that we haven't had that. Has there been 1 month?
I don't think there's been 1 month.
There may have not been 1 month.
But this is our 7th one, so probably not. I don't think there was. It got so big and so many people loved it. We bought our own projector. We bought our own 40-foot inflatable screen. We've had one in the arena so far, but most of them have been on Bob Amos Hill next to the walking track. Our next one's going to be Doolittle with Robert Downey Jr. We're really proud of that one. Gates will open up at 6 and the movie will start at 7. We advise you to come early, get a good spot, but there's no bad spots. When you're looking at a 40-foot screen, you can see it from the top of the hill.
Yeah, and I love the opportunity that it gave families to get together, to go up there. And a lot of the people, they remember from drive-in movies back in the day. Well, for our generation, that hasn't been as prevalent. They started to see those being torn down, and this just gives a whole new life to the whole drive-in movie experience.
It's so fun because people come in, they'll back their vehicle back like a truck, and they'll bring blankets and the cooler, and they'll get popcorn from the arena, and it's a great experience.
It's a fun
we love
time.
It.
We do. It's one of my favorite events that we get to do. And if you're not the moviegoer type, we all know that people like different things. One of the projects that you and Brad Sloan have been working on over the course of the pandemic was our Pikeville History Moments, and they're absolutely phenomenal.
We enjoy putting those out every 2 weeks. We get messages and comments from all around the United States thanking us for these because there is so much that's happened here in Pikeville, Pike County, and our surrounding region that people are not even aware of it anymore. It's just the information has gotten lost over the years, and this is our way of bringing it all back, put it in one place, so that when you do want to hear it, when you hear about it, and you say, "I'd like to know more about that," our YouTube channel. It's a great resource for everything that's happened here in the past 200 years, I think.
They are very.
And Brad Sloan does a great job. He writes almost every script, and he really, really enjoys history.
He does, and I call him our staff historian.
Yes, sir.
Because he does know so much about so many different things. But this has been a wonderful series, and I look forward to seeing
20 out so far.
20. Wow, and that doesn't even skim the surface, does it?
Brad's still got pages and pages and pages that he wants to do.
Well, we're excited to see those. Josh is with you from the Appalachian Wireless Arena, and everybody knows Josh. Josh can tell us everything that's going on at all times. He's our go-to. If you do Facebook Live videos done, I called Josh up the other day and I said, "Hey, I need you to go do something for me." And he's like, "On it, done." But so good at informing our public, Josh, of things going on at the arena.
Appreciate that.
We have tournaments coming up.
Yes.
I know you and Larry are going to be back on there again with your lives about telling people how the arena is going to be sanitized, what the protocol is going to be for those larger events that we get to have. And it's one of those things where we want to have those events, but we want to do it safely. And sometimes that can cause a little bit of, I don't want to say aggravation, but some people can get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, a lot of hesitation, a lot of feeling uncomfortable. What really helped us and kind of helped the public ease their mind was the articles that were done on us from the newspaper and the television stories and radio, was the fact that when we had Travis Tritt, people came up to us and bragged how safe, how everything was flowing. They felt safe being in the arena. They can't wait to come to the next show. The extra sanitation, all of the extra protocols that we need. Even the show was bragging how well everything was running. And that's great. That's what you want to hear, because that moves entertainment that much closer to opening at full capacity. But that gives the artists, that gives the fans an ease in their mind. Hey, we can do this. We can come out and have a good time. This is safe. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, we have been so excited to welcome events back into that large space.
Yes.
The wrestling tournament was enormous.
It was very done very well. Of course, the extra sanitation, that's key. People left after each match. Sanitation was done. They got back in. The whole 6-foot social distancing, the masking, they all followed the rules, and that made it safe. And there should be another one. Larry Miller has one coming in April for another wrestling show as well. So, and that's another state wrestling tournament.
It is, and it brings people from all over the state.
It does.
And certainly this is the time to showcase what we have. in our area, so they will come back for a second or third visit.
And the hotels loved because they're like, wow,
Yes.
we actually had people, you know, we had things going on. The restaurants were pleased. Like it's getting back to it, and that's what we like. You know?
But we have to continue to maintain that diligence about making sure that we're safe.
Yes.
I know that and we have all been vaccinated. That's why we're in close proximity together.
Absolutely.
So we've been cleared to do that. But as people move forward and get vaccinated and it becomes more comfortable, we're going to see a lot more excitement come in. One of the things that we didn't get to do last year, but is being planned for this year, one of my favorite events that we always have in the summer is Main Street Live.
Yes, Main Street Live is coming back. Larry's working on the entertainment for it right now. We should be announcing that in the coming weeks with the schedule and the artists. I know he mentioned, kind of teased today, we had a little podcast show. He teased the fact that one of the artists he got is just signed with a label, which they're still going to perform. So that's a big deal for us to have them at Main Street, an artist of that caliber.
Right.
So that's fantastic. And just a lot coming up. I mean, we've got shows on the books. We've got our window clings up on outside the arena. People can go by and see what's going on. Like, it's good to be back to that point.
Let's go over some of those shows coming up. The first Pikeville Gun and Knife Show is coming. Tell us a little bit about that.
That is, we haven't had a gun show in 10 years. A lot of folks are excited about that, to be able to have a table to do their trading for their guns, to showcase what they have to offer, whether that's a regional gun store or a local gun store. They love that, and people are already like chomping at the bit for that one.
And then Price is Right Live has been rescheduled a couple times.
Third time.
Third time. I can't remember. I lost count. So now it's going to be in September.
Yes. And that's exciting. That's fun. A lot of people keep sending us messages on that. How do we get to be on the show? Of course, come to the box office, usually about an hour and a half before the scheduled time for the show, and you could have that opportunity to be a guest on the Price is Right.
I want to know how that works, because I say if Jimmy Taylor and I wanted to be on contestant row, how does that happen? Is that a randomly selected?
That is random,
Really?
but they're going to personality test you pretty much to see
Then
what
we're
kind of.
in.
Great.
We're
Yeah.
good.
They're going to see if you're that quirky person that's willing to just go the extra mile. They love that. So you all would be in because of that fact there.
Because we're the quirky people.
But we do
there's
not
nothing
know
wrong with
that.
We're labeled as John says. But no,
Nothing wrong with that.
I think that's good. When we first announced that show, whenever last year, I thought, what a wonderful, fun experience to come in and be able to see and to participate and win great things.
Win cool prizes.
Yeah, really cool prizes. So I look really forward to that. Obviously, probably not a participant, but certainly as a spectator. But you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Rodney Carrington.
Yes.
How about that?
Rodney Carrington, great comedian, always a good time. We had him. It's been 2 years since we had him in the Appalachian Wireless Arena. He's a great draw, great fun time. Definitely want to get tickets to see Rodney.
One of the things I don't want us to fail to mention about the other offerings at the arena are the event spaces that we have that are not the floor necessarily, but the ballroom space that we have, the plaza obviously, and also our catering service that Wes and Chandra head up so well. I mean, that has been one of the things that I have loved during the last few months about the arena is the catering services that we have.
We have a great chef. We have a great catering department, of course, with Chandra, and it's running better than it ever has. I mean, as far as the concession area, as far as people feeling safe, as far as offering a variety of foods, that's top. And I want to mention too, Jill, real quick before we get off on something. Aaron Lewis goes on sale
How about that?
March the 12th. People are excited about that. That is a solo acoustic performance, but he rarely does solo acoustic shows. So this is going to be one of those once-in-a-lifetime kind of things to see him. Very talented artist. This is the State I'm In tour, April 24th, Appalachian Wireless Arena. Tickets start at $25. So, I mean, entertainment's getting back, and it's getting back feasible too. So
I know so many people that are excited about Aaron Lewis coming to town to do that show and that type of show.
the phones have blown up.
Crazy.
Great response.
Not only your phone, my phone too.
There you go.
People
How do they get
calling,
tickets?
wanting in.
You can actually get tickets at Ticketmaster.com or at the Community Trust Bank box office, which is located at the Appalachian Wireless Arena.
How do they get into that on the Main Street side?
Exactly.
That's right,
Yes,
on
ma'am.
the Main Street side. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there anything that you can tell us about what might be coming in the fall, or are you going to make us wait?
Of course, we'll have to make you wait. Of course, that's just how that
It's a
works.
tease.
It's a teasing. Well, I mean, there's several really good caliber names that are going to be thrown out in Pikeville. A lot of people are going to be really happy, and if all goes as planned, as the bosses have said, 24 to 25 shows for this year. There's not going to be a time when you say, I wish there was entertainment in Pikeville, because it's covered.
So, folks, when you call me and you say, well, can you find out from the arena guys what's going on? I'm going to say, this is it. This is how he treats me. Josh, you're very vague. I never know anything until the day.
I mean, you can give my cell phone number, and I'll be like, details soon.
Oh, just a recorded message.
Yeah, just details soon.
Well, Josh, I know you're busy. You and Paul and Larry and the entire gang at the arena have done a wonderful job, are continuing to do a wonderful job. And I always get excited for those little text messages or calls that say, hey, this is coming. Just wanted you to know. Because it just kind of ignites your fire a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, Josh, thanks for the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
We're going to step out, take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about our other entertainment venue in the city of Pikeville. And that is the Appalachian Center for the Arts. Stay right there. Welcome back into This is Pikeville, the show where we talk about all the great things going on in and around the city of Pikeville as far as tourism and events go. And certainly we're all ready to get back out there and start seeing shows. And the Appalachian Center for the Arts is going to help us do that in the coming weeks. Jimmy Taylor, Robin Irwin now has joined you.
Yes, ma'am.
From the Appalachian Center for the Arts. She is our executive director and does a wonderful job making sure that we have different opportunities to see different kinds of art, whether it be by performance or by exhibit. And that is something we're really going to talk about today. Right now at the app, we have Crossroads, the exhibit examining rural America and honoring the history of rural America. It's a Smithsonian exhibit that is absolutely remarkable.
It is, yes. It is something to behold. It is part of the Museum on Main Street initiative that the Smithsonian and the Humanities Councils nationwide have launched to bring museum quality curated art and exhibits to the country at large. Only 3.5% of the land mass in this country is urban. The rest of us are in rural America. And the Museum on Main Street initiative is, they've launched something called the Hometown Team, how we worked, and all kinds of initiatives. So when the opportunity came up to apply for a grant, Kathy Atkins, who's the director of grants for the city, she applied, and then Kentucky Humanities came out and saw this space, and it was sort of, it was not in gallery ready shape, but we, Philip and Kathy and I reassured the Kentucky Humanities that it would be ready, and sure enough, we were chosen. There were 6 venues chosen, and we were one of them.
It is one of the most remarkable exhibits because you really can, especially if you're from rural America, and you can relate to some of the changes that you see on those exhibit walls, those panels, if you will. You really get lost in what it was and what it's become and the progression in between of how that's happened. It is really something to behold, and certainly something for all ages, really, where you can, I took my daughter to a preview, just kind of popped in one day and looked around and was just able to kind of teach her. And what a wonderful teachable moment for our parents and their kids, especially now, to go in and see that kind of art displayed at the theater.
It absolutely is. And, we were surprised, true story, we were surprised that they were still going forward with it when this pandemic hit. We're like, are we still going to get it, or is it a delay, or is it postponed? And it's like, nope, we're doing it, we're coming. And we're like, okay. So, the dream of filling the space with school children, because that's really who would benefit from it. It's just not to be. It wasn't meant to be. However, there's all kinds of interactive aspects to this exhibit. There's video screens, there's blocks of houses that the kids can play with, and you can write a note. We have a series of postcards with questions that the Smithsonian has posed, like, if you were mayor, what would you do? what do you dream of happening in your town, and really sourcing the community, and those are all still there. So they can come and see it anytime they want. There's someone from UPike, a professor, is going to come teach her class from there next week. And again, Effie Waller-Smith, we wrote a monologue for her, sort of a Pikeville Chautauqua. It goes in hand in hand with what is going on with the Pikeville history moments. The monologue is about 15 minutes, and an actress from Jenkins, she now lives in Big Stone Gap, but from Jenkins, named Jessica Mullins, she performs Effie, and she's astounding. She looks like her. It's beautiful, and we're going to have that again March 27th.
And how much does it cost?
Nothing.
Free.
There you go.
The whole thing is free.
There
The
you go.
whole
We
thing
love
is
free.
free. Free is good.
Free is good, and that is the best part about this exhibit. Now, the next exhibit that's going to go up is The World of Jesus, and that is going to be
April 10th.
April 10th.
April 10th it opens up.
So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the World of Jesus, the art, archaeology, and artifacts of the first century. It has been here before. People are like, did we have that before? And I said, yes. Components of it. But now Tommy Chamberlain is bringing it back with new pieces and additional artifacts and additional things for to show off the beauty and the majesty and the simplicity of the first century of artifacts. Yeah. And so we're going to have that in there for probably through the middle of September.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is going to be one of those exhibits that I think is really going to attract a lot of church groups.
Yes.
Again, something remarkable for your kids to be able to go
Absolutely.
and look through and kind of take it all in and maybe answer some questions that they have that, now one of those pieces sparked the interest to ask that question. So going to be remarkable, and certainly always for information you can contact the app.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And also, this sounds like something that you would also find in a larger city that's actually come to Pikeville, so that all of our people can enjoy it as well.
Certainly so, and we're all about welcoming guests in.
Absolutely.
And as we open things up, our restaurants are getting back to capacity, and we have different things going on 2nd Street, which is anchored obviously by the theater. Going to be a great time. Now, something I've mentioned to a lot of different people, and that I get a lot of questions about, are the classes that you offer for our kids, especially in the summer. So can you update us on what those are?
We've had a full roster of classes this winter, and they are at capacity. Again, we anywhere between 10 and 12 students have want to participate, and the parents are saying to us, they're like, "Oh, thank you for doing this. This is wonderful. Thank you." Every kid. Next week is the last week, and there are classes for adults as well. The improv class.
Look, we could take a class, Jim and Taylor.
And that could help us get on The Price is Right.
That could.
It could. You'll have enough personality for it. The improv class, this first one, has gone fantastically. And even with all the weather limitations, like, I'm flooded, I'm iced, and there's nothing funny about it, but people really want to come to it and to come to the classes. So we're at capacity.
Okay, this is something I'm really excited about, and we haven't talked a lot about it openly just yet, but we're going to now. Okay. And that is going to be the Mountain Girl Experience, and that's going to be on July 24th. This is going to be a great time.
Well, and it's really, thank you. It's a brainchild of it came out of the Pikeville Creative Community meetings that have been going on since December. In terms of the creative placemaking that Minta and I are working so, and by de facto you and Philip and Jimmy and everyone, it's just really making Pikeville stand out as a significant place, because we have so much capacity and beauty and talent to harness that and champion the creative thought and the creative economy.
Yeah.
So anyway, it happened. Chris Preston has always dreamed. Chris Preston from Coal Town Dixie and the girls have always dreamed of doing, having a music festival for women, about women. And Chris and I met last year to talk about other projects we wanted to do that we were applying for a grant for. And I said, you know what, why don't we make this a fundraiser and just see what kind of interest there is. And it just took off, and we have a full roster of talent, and there's all kinds of, we're partnering with the Appalachian Artisan Center. They're coming in and doing a demonstration showing how to throw pots, pottery. Not at you, not at your head, Jimmy. And so all kinds of workshops for kids, making little guitars, a dulcimer workshop, a flatfoot workshop, and just celebrating the grit and strength of Appalachian women.
Yeah, I love that. Grit and strength of Appalachian women.
Yeah.
That's perfect. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
So all of these things obviously lead back into tourism and what people are embarking on, this new concept called adventure tourism. Spring will be here from the taping that we're doing today in a week.
Yes, ma'am.
It's very, very close, and we're seeing the daffodils start to pop up. Tulip buds are starting to come up. It is really a resurgence and certainly a rebirth coming out of what has been the most difficult year probably that any of us has seen on many different levels. So we are excited to welcome people back, to get them on our river when it goes down from the recent flooding, to get them on the horses, on horseback, to trot through the mountains, certainly to get on foot, get through the mountains. I was up on the trails just this past weekend and I could breathe, you could just breathe. And it was so nice.
Our horses are chomping at the bit,
They are.
waiting for people to come.
They are, they are just remarkable animals. And I encourage you, if you've never been to the stables, to really get up there and just walk through. Just pet them. You can feed them some peppermints that they keep up there.
Take a ride, get
Take a
trained on
ride.
a horse.
Yeah. We have 4 miles of beautiful walking trails at Bob Amos Park. The horses are there. Saddle and paddle up from Bob Amos. They'll take you where you want to get to on the river. And this is going to be a really good year for tourism, for the arts, for the arena, for everything that we have to offer. Because I think we've just scratched the surface of what we can offer to visitors from not only regionally, but certainly the southern United States and really across the country.
Even some northern too.
I think so. Even those northerners like to come in and stay. So
We like it.
Jimmy, thank you so much. Robin, thank you.
Thank you.
Josh Kessler, we appreciate him stopping by to share with us what's going on at the arena. But we're ready. We're ready for events. We're
Can't
ready for
wait.
visitors, and we're ready to show everybody what we have to offer. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, Jill.
This is Pikeville. Thank you so much for joining us.